What's up everybody, Dubbo here, and listen, I'm here to tell you why you should be playing Monster Hunter World in 2021 and beyond. Now I just picked this game up off the Steam summer sale about 2 months ago, already have some serious hours logged into it, and I'll tell you what, between the gameplay, the co-op piece, all of the limitless content it has, this title is worth checking out. So let's dive right into it. Leave a like if you like the video. Monster Hunter World is an action RPG where you go out as a monster hunter trying to find and slay the baddest creatures in the land. There are many monsters across the world with all different attack patterns and characteristics in which a player must adjust to in order to get the victory. It all starts with picking up a contract in which you can hunt monsters for the story or as an optional mission for parts and pieces you might need later on for builds. So the general gameplay loop is this. You'll start off as a low-level monster hunter, meaning you'll fight against low-level monsters. Once you get good enough to beat these monsters and beat them rather consistently, you're able to unlock parts from capturing or carving these monsters, in which you can upgrade your equipment, armor, and weapons. In terms of actual gameplay, it is challenging yet immensely rewarding. If you're a gamer that likes challenging gameplay, and more so you like coming out on the other side of a challenge as victorious, this is the game for you. This is not the type of game where you can just go up and button mash against a monster. You have to figure out when to roll, when to be defensive, when to go in all-out attack mode, and more importantly, how your playstyle is going to line up to the fight. Speaking of which, there are 14 different weapons to choose from, all with their own unique characteristics, combos, and playstyle perks that can have a huge impact on how the fight goes. For me, I chose a switch axe, which is a weapon that doubles between a long-reaching axe with fairly good mobility and a powerful elemental sword capable of dishing out tons of damage in a short period of time. And as you can see, I'm going for the tail of this monster. Part of the fun of hunting all these different monsters is finding out which areas of them are severable. A lot of these monsters you can cut the tail right off, as well as break the face or break the claws, which gives you even more rare materials to craft rarer items with. There are a whole bunch of things to talk about with the gameplay, but one of the coolest aspects of fighting is that you can actually get on top of the monster and try to ride it and fight it until you bring it down for your teammates. Now typically a monster is not going to like you riding its back, so you got to put your cowboy or cowgirl pants on and get ready for the ride of your life. If you win this ride, you perform a special move based on which weapon you have, which first of all looks fantastic. Secondly, you're able to put this monster on its back, leaving it open to a ton of potential damage from you or your teammates. Now we're going to get into the co-op play in a second. But what I haven't mentioned to this point, that if you want to play this game by yourself, you actually get a cat to help you in the fights, and there's a huge emphasis on cats in the game as you can actually get your food cooked by them. Delicious. One of the best parts of Monster Hunter World, in my opinion, is the co-op experience. Now, you can always venture out into the world by yourself, or you could go up with 3 other players in the same world fighting the same monster, either online or with your own personal group of friends. In 2021, it feels like the world wants more co-op games. We want to spend time with each other. We want to find a game where we can progress with each other. And there have been great entries like Valheim, like Borderlands, like Stardew Valley. It Takes Two dropped this year. But there are not many games out there that provide a challenge in which you have to overcome as a team. You see, in this game, monsters scale based on how many monster hunters you have in the game. So if you're facing the monster alone with your cat, it will be much weaker than if you go in with 2 hunters or with 4 hunters. And so strategies matter. Getting good matters. Having that ability to come together as a team to overcome the monster, well, that'll give you guys new memories to look back upon when you think about your video game history together. With that said, I highly recommend, if you are thinking about getting this game, see if you can convince 1, 2, or 3 of your other friends to come get this game with you. You guys will have a blast leveling up through the game, and you might even, if you get towards the end of the base game, you might even want to get Iceborne, because this journey can last hundreds of hours, which is also another benefit I feel that most other games don't have. Yeah, you might get a co-op game with 30 hours, 60 hours, but I've seen people with up to 800 hours on this game. And not to say that you need to put in that many hours, but with this game you absolutely could, if you wanted to, build that friendship and that team chemistry over the long haul. Now, if you wanted to play by yourself but still want to get into the multiplayer aspect, very easy to do. All you have to do, go into a match. You can look for the type of monster that you want to hunt, and someone might be hunting it. You're able to drop into that match and start fighting with them, or you can fight your own monsters, and if you need help, with the click of a button you can let anybody join your world and help you to defeat that monster. Side note here, check out the environmental changes of what happens when a dinosaur walks on a soft piece of ice in this game. 2 of my teammates washed away, leaving me and 1 other teammate to try to fight this huge thunder dinosaur. As you can see, this is not a one-dimensional game. The environment may shift on you. 2 or 3 monsters might be in the same part of the world and come in to join your fight, either to fight the monster or to fight you. Just know that with Monster Hunter World, you are never alone. Even if you decide to play by yourself, meeting new players is just a click away. And finally, we get to the real meat of Monster Hunter World, the vast amount of content in this game. Now, yes, the gameplay loop is you kill monsters, you take their stuff. But what do you take their stuff for? Well, making armor, making weapons. As you can see right here, I'm in the master rank. There's low rank, there's also high rank. There are tons of different customization options in this game. Now, as a monster hunter, you have to decide, do you want to look cool? Because there are tons of cool armor options, as you can see as we go through this video. Or do you want to be effective? And can you find the middle ground between cool and effective for killing the monster of your choice? Without going too far into it, each set of armor has a different set of values, different set of characteristics that make it good or bad against particular sets of monsters. For example, in the bottom right corner, you can see the defense buffs versus certain elements based on what armor I wear. And as we scroll through, you can see that the different sets change depending on which armor does what. Now, you can mix and match armor and look like an absolute crazy person, but you might have super effective stats. Not only that, but to give the game even more depth, each piece of armor has different skills that allow you to do different things in a fight, whether it's increase your critical damage, attack damage, evasion skills, and even some unique ones like the friendship skill, which allows you to drink a potion and have it affect every hunter around you. Going through all the cool skills would be a whole nother video on its own, but let's get into the weapon trees right here. Now, as seen and stated earlier, I am a switch axe user almost exclusively. I haven't gotten into many of the other different weapons, although I've seen the other weapons being used. Look at this tree right now. These are all the different weapons that I would be able to craft if I had the materials for them. The list goes on and on. I am scrolling for a while. There are all different types of weapons with poison, paralysis, fire, ice, water, the whole shebang. And how could we go through the content section of this video without diving into the cat armors? Yes, your cat is fully customizable with the same objects and materials that you use to craft your own armor. If you decide to play solo or with just one other hunter, your cat will always be on display, and they are extremely useful. Not as good as another player perhaps, but they can learn skills that make a monster fight a lot easier. So that's my brief overview of Monster Hunter World. I hope you liked it. Wrapping it all up, if you are a person that loves a challenge in a video game and loves getting good to progress in a video game, Monster Hunter World is for you. This game has an unbelievable amount of content, a gameplay loop that will keep you coming back for more, and if you decide to take on this game with a group of friends, learning how to fight together will bring you closer as a group, and it will be a long-term co-op experience that no one will regret. That's it for me, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and like the video. It helps me tremendously. I will be uploading much more gaming content and real-life discussion content from my Twitch channel here in the coming months, so if you'd like to stick around, feel free to subscribe. We'd love to have you in. I'll catch you guys later. Have a fantastic day.